Okay, so now that you have already understood the usage of Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, but I just wanted to show you how you can actually do, right? So I am on slide number 4. Um, no, this is slide number 9. Okay, I'm on slide number 9, which is about the usage of Claude right here. Um, and as we already discussed that Claude is used here for deep dive. Okay, so we can ask Claude to fill your value proposition canvas section by section, right, through a conversation. So here is the prompt that I'm building. So let me just use this prompt here first of all. I'll just copy it. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll just open Claude dot AI. And yeah, so this is the screen. So it's very simple. For those of you who haven't signed up, just go to claude.ai and you can sign up. Just enter your email ID, phone number, and you will get this free account. Okay, so it will say your name, right? Because I'm recording in India afternoon time, so it's saying so this, the way. Okay, so let me just paste it here, right? And I can actually remove this. So what is the question? And this is very important. So I am building, and what's my startup idea for? So I am building uh, an app for uh, school students that can remind them about their homeworks, right? And also should be able to track their homework if they complete it on time, something like that. Right. So while I have mentioned for students, I'll say school students um, from or age group, you can say age, or let's say grades uh, 4 to 12. Okay, let's say this is there. And then what it has to do, help me complete a value proposition canvas, ask me questions one section at a time, and start with customer job. So let's hit this. So let's see what's actually doing. Yeah. So it is saying, let's build this out for the customer segment, school students, grades 4 to 12. And since there's a fairly wide range, students in grade 4 often have pretty different jobs, pains, and gains. A 9-year-old is usually, so see, this is trying to actually explain that, yeah, it's true. The pains and gains are different for all these grades. A 9-year-old is usually still parent supervised, while a 12th grader is managing their own board exams. So before we dive in, I'll help you know how you want to handle that. And here are some options that it has given. Um, the question is, grades 4 to 12 span very different maturity levels. How should we handle this in this canvas? One canvas, note age differences within it, split into two personas, for example, junior 4 to 7 or senior 8 to 12. Focus primarily on subgroup first. Keep it general for now and refine later. I think I want to be a little precise, so I will use split into two personas. In fact, you can also give another option, but for simplicity, let me just use this. Then the next question it asked, for customer jobs, what's the primary functional job this app should help with? The first option is just remembering what homework was assigned, tracking completion status over time, building a daily or study homework habit, all of the above roughly. I think let's keep all of the above. Then so look at the level at which it's actually asking questions. I think this is so good that to this level we have to go and ask our clients. Now, who is the main user actually opening the app day to day? The student themselves, parent monitors, student executes, both with different views and logins, teacher inputs and student and parent. I think the good thing is, let's go ahead with the fourth one. And now it's crystallizing. Good. That gives us clear structure. Here's a three-sided model. Teacher inputs the homework, student executes, parents monitor. So look at the customer jobs. So for junior persona, that is grades 4 to 7, the functional job. So functional job is what you actually want from the user to get done, or what the user wants actually to get done. So here a grade 4 student knows what homework was assigned for which subject and by when. This is the job that we want to get done. Second, complete and submit homework on time without forgetting. Build a basic routine habit. So once again, I want to tell you that these are the three things that the student is saying. Okay. What is a social job? The social job is not be the kid who's called out in class for missing out homework. Yeah, now this is very important. When you don't complete your homework, you may be called out. And that is what you don't want. Rather, you should be called, you should be appreciated. Okay. Then second one is make parents or teachers proud of being responsible. See, this is also, it's very important. So functional job ensures that your job gets done, which you want to achieve. But then there are so many other things also associated, right? How you perceive the outcome. The next one is the emotional job. Now, personally, as a user, what's your feeling? You feel anxious, less anxious about, I did not forget something. Yes, just keep yourself in the shoes of students, or if you're a student, you're realizing, right, when you don't complete your homework, what actually happens, and when you've completed and got appreciations, how is your feeling? The second one is feel a small sense of accomplishment when done. Okay, so this is one persona, that's a junior persona. In case of senior persona, things will change. The functional job is to track multiple subjects, homework or assignments, projects with deadlines, prioritize work, self monitor. Social job is to appear self-reliant to parents, less nagging, right? Then emotional job is reduce last minute panic, stress, feel in control. Then teacher, who is the job assigner and not end beneficiary. Because when you're trying to build a solution, in this case, you're trying to build that solution, which is an app for teacher also. So communicate homework. So teacher wants to communicate homework clearly to all students, and parent is also one of the users. That's a secondary user. Stay informed. Okay. So does this match how you see, or do you want to adjust anything? For example, parents it involved supposed to fade out for the senior persona or stay equally. So there is also a question and with an examples. See, to this level of detail it is asked. So we'll say this is perfect. Okay. Great. So it has actually lock in. Now it's asking questions. So just look at the prompt. The first prompt, if we go, the prompt was very simple. Okay. Help me complete a value proposition. Ask me questions one section at a time. And that's what it's actually doing. Right. So what is the pain? What's the most common pain right now for the junior persona? Forget to write homework in school itself. Forgets or loses the diary. Parent has constantly asked, did you do? Doesn't understand what was actually assigned. I think a lot. So let me just say all of the four options. Okay. What's the most common pain for senior persona? Juggling too many apps, notice. Realizing too late that something is due tomorrow. No visibility into patterns. For example, always missing math. Feels nagged by despite being capable. I think let's choose this specifically. What's the biggest? But if you're you know a senior grader student, you will be better able to do that, right? So don't just choose this option. What's the biggest pain on the teacher or parent side? Teacher repeating homework info across multiple channels. Yeah, this is also there. Parent no visibility. Parent, I think I will put all significant. Let's see what it does. Great. So it's coming up with these responses, and see how responsive, how fast it is. So junior persona, grades 4 to 7, forgets to note down homework properly. Okay, let me just increase the font a little. Yeah, so doesn't. Okay, senior persona, if you look at, feels nagged. A lot of things are there, in fact. Carrying over as secondary or senior, also juggles more. As a teacher, has to repeat, recommunicate so many things, duplicated effort. Yeah, this is also a bad thing. Then parent, no real visibility into whether homework is actually done. This is also important. Then you look at what's asking. Key tension worth designing around. Junior needs more structure and parental visibility to fix real gaps in communication or memory. Senior needs less visible parental control, but more structured self-tracking. So the app's value has to shift from parent oversight tool to personality accountability tool. Look at the kind of terms that's suggesting, and also the way it's giving you the features. That's a strong differentiator if your app. Okay. So here is a question. So for junior, would you feel like a genuine win, not just a belief? What is that? So visual reward streaks, simple reassuring. Parent can see progress without asking. Teacher praise recognition. I think let's go ahead with this. For senior persona, what would feel like a genuine win? I guess personal insights, you're 90% smart, reduced. Trust signal to parent, data speaks, no data. I'll say get appreciations from both teacher and parents. Is a gamification or motivation layer, that is streaks, badges, something you want to core. Now it's actually asking feature. I think nice to have, essential for V1 maybe. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. So you look at the gains, right? So for junior persona, gets visible recognition or praise from a teacher. Senior persona. Okay. Before that, let's ask this question. Read this out. Senior persona, it receives appreciation from both teachers because we chose that option. Okay. Cross-cutting insight is for both personas, the strongest gain inside it's converting tracking data into recognition and trust currency. For teacher, it's a low effort way to give recognition, a tap or a quick note. Yeah. For parent, gets positive updates, alerts, shifts a parent's role from enforcer to encourager. So this is great. Now here is a question: how does homework data actually get into the app? Okay, that's the one. So teacher posts assignment once, auto visible, student. I sync from existing ERP or if available. Let's do it. Let's not now choose the fourth one. Let's choose the first one. How is completed on time verified mask? Uh, Simple checkbox tick when done. Photo. I think taking a photograph and uploading the work is a good way, but it's still you know an effort which I'm not sure people will do. The student self reports plus teacher can verify and confirm. Just parent. I think let's choose this one. How does the teacher recognition of or praise face feature actually work mechanically? Okay, so teacher taps a quick praise button, auto generate combination of quick tap default plus option custom. Okay, because I'm creating this video for all of you, so therefore I'm a little fast and maybe I'm not just giving it details to entire things, but you will have to definitely give time, right? Products and services. Okay, so we have already completed the customer segment, the customer side. Now, if you may recall that square box, which was the value map, and it had three things: products and or services, right? And then you also had the other two things, pain relievers and gain creators. So let's first understand products and services. So single entry, assignment posting, self-reporting, recognition. list of products or services, homework posting tools. So everything, I think this is good. Before I map, does the products on a list? Yes, because it's actually confirming whether it has presented or it has understood the right thing and trying to create a map. Okay, so pain relievers are single entry, and it's trying to map also. See, single entry assignment. In case of junior, how it's going to help, because juniors forget to note homework in class, or the junior doesn't understand what was assigned. Right. Similarly, assignment tracker. For junior, it's like junior used to lose or forget diary at home. And for senior, senior used to juggle too many apps. So think. Uh, one. Okay, so it has done that, right? Okay. Want me to add a lightweight feature? No. Uh, no. So I'll just say thanks. Right. Let's see if it does something. Otherwise, it's all done. Right. So I'll draft the gain creators. Want me to just go ahead? Yes. So it's drafting the gain creators. Okay. So it's actually drafting the gain creators also. Wonderful. Okay. Now you look at the full value proposition canvas. Okay. Customer profile, value map. In customer profile, you have jobs, pains and gains, and value map. You have products, all. And the core fit also it has established. All you need to do is just copy and paste. Okay. As simple as that. I can just help you out. So maybe if I take this, Control C, and yeah. So let's say this was that section. Okay. Customer profile. Please note that the value map should come on the left hand side and customer on the right hand side. Right. So yeah, let me just delete this. In fact, what I'll do is, yeah, so you can actually see this, okay, yourself. Yeah, so remembering tracking. So likewise, you can actually paste. Perfect. Let's come to this. So this part we have done. The second was Gemini. How we can seek help from Gemini, right? So Gemini is basically for market existence check. It says before investing more time, check if a similar solution already exists in India and understanding what they do differently. So what we'll do is we'll just copy this prompt. Okay. And we will go to Gemini, which is this. And again, you have to just go to gemini.google.com and you can actually paste. But here is the problem. I'll tell you. You need to definitely explain your problem and customer and list the top three for each what they offer likewise. So again, my problem was the same and I can't change. So I'll go to Claude, and there was this problem that I pasted, if you remember, or the solution. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this section. But this is not a problem, this is a solution, okay? And it's asking to present what kind of problem. So if I just, yeah, school students can remind. So let me just change it. I'll say school students often tend to forget homework, completing home works. Okay. And who are these? These are school students, grades, let's say 4 to 12. Okay. And let's see what it does. Because it's asking, is there any startup in that space? Yeah. So you look at that. Yes, several Indian startups address this. And you can write actually, is there any startup in the world? But let's be precise. Maybe we're focusing India market. So let's start with India first. Address these problems and then homework completion uh, through two primary angles: B2B school communication platforms and instant homework assistance apps. So one is Teachment, and what they offer is this: there's a pricing model, lead group, okay, yeah, daily homework routine tasks, practice worksheets. There's a parent visibility dashboard, and this is what, if you may recall, what Claude actually did for you. Then there's a gamified practice. Claude also suggested the same. Then there's also a pricing model. Okay. Then key weaknesses. Then there's something called Philo, which is while apps like Teachment solve forgetting, Philo solves abandoning it. Yeah. So you have a lot and you can do a comparison. See, it has done a beautiful comparison. Okay. So Teachment is B2B, which means that if you designed made the product for the students, but you're not selling it to students directly. You actually go and sell to a school, and then school will give licenses to all the students and parents. Right. So that's how it is. And when you're saying B2C, which means you're actually selling to students, which means through their parents. Okay. Because parents will be the one who will pay. Okay. Hope this is clear. So this is what is another thing. Then you can decide based on this. The next one is anti-gravity, and it says go deeper into customer jobs. Anti-gravity generates functional, social, and emotional job layers you might have. So what you can do is just copy, Control C, and you can go to anti-gravity. So this is the site antigravity.google. But for anti-gravity, you'll have to download it for your Mac version of a Windows. You can actually download it. I have already downloaded, and anti-gravity has released its latest Gemini 3.6 Flash model, which consumes less tokens, so it's much efficient, you may call that way, right? So let me just open that page will look like. Okay, just download it from anti-gravity site, download it whether it's Mac or, and for the first time you'll have to import, go to file and open a folder. Now, which folder? You have to create a folder on your somewhere in your location, and this is where you can actually paste it. So let me just paste here and remove this and put a full stop. So give me functional and 3 jobs. Okay, let's see that what it actually does. Okay, so this is that tool uh, uh, from Google, through which you can actually create the whole platform, the functioning thing, right? Yeah, so what it is telling you now, it has created two things. Okay, on the left hand side that you actually see, it has create a JTBD, that is jobs to be done mapping, and it's kind of document which is a .md file. So don't worry about it, you can actually read it. What's this document is going to do? So it has explained the functional jobs and everything, and it has created a whole plan. Okay, for example, functional consolidate and track, and likewise, right? And if you ask it that build a platform for me, just one sentence, it's actually going to build a platform for you, trust me, right? So let's say build a simple platform for me using, maybe you can say HTML, or you just leave. Let's see what it does. Yeah, so what type of platform should we use to address? Okay, a student facing homework app, focus materials, a parent facing. So I think all three. Let's submit it. Yeah, so there's an implementation plan. I've not read it, but I'll say proceed. You should read it always, and if you want, you can do the changes. Yeah, it'll take a couple of seconds or maybe sometimes few minutes, and it'll actually complete. So if you see how it works, it actually thinks for some time, because now what it is doing is acting as a software engineer at the back end. Okay, what kind of files it has to do, what will be the programming construct. Okay, so for beautification, how the layouts will be, so it's going to use some different kind of things. So for example, it's using a file, a constructing file called style.css, all that. So through this, you can understand that you don't need to be a software engineer today, or you don't need to know coding, because it's going to do everything for you. Correct. So allow this time. Yeah. So now it's actually using my local server. Yes. So in fact, it's also doing the routine check as well. If you see, it is navigating to this platform. Yeah. So let me just allow once. And if I click here, and it's telling you what it's actually doing. Let me just click here. The platform is actually built. Antigravity is built for you. So such a nice, look at the entire layout. It has, three, you can say, customer segments: student, parent, teachers. These are beneficiaries. For student, they have done the homework. For parents also, they can actually view. Teachers, if you look at, this is amazing, right? A teacher can give a homework. So let's say, um, rational numbers. Uh, do exercise 5 from the textbook. Do exercise 5, right? So let's see. And required materials: textbooks, workbook, no calculator, nothing. You can have a lab notebook, and forget about device. And then let's see. So the homework is dispatched. Okay. Now, if you just go to the student section, there's a homework that has come already. Now I am playing the role of a student. Okay. And my due date is this. I've completed, I've done. So now this is ready to study, right? I'll just simply say complete. So actually, you're trying to give a signal to uh, the teacher and the parent that you have actually completed it. Basically, it's not testing the quality of your homework, it's actually doing, right? So now you can think of to this level within 30 minutes, we have done such an amazing thing. Okay. And I'll just show how the parent sees. Yeah, this is the parent section. Now, let me. Wonderful. Correct. So we'll go back to the presentation again. So we've completed these three. The last one is Perplexity. This is basically you can use for customer insight research. Okay. What you can do is you can find real data on what your customer segment struggles with. India specific, maybe recent, cited, all that. So let's use this prompt. We'll see. And here is my Perplexity already opened. I will just paste it. Who is my customer segment? I will say students grade 4 to 12. Okay. And problem, let me. Yeah, so this was, no, this is not the problem. I'll take the problem from here. So I'll just copy it and go back to Perplexity and paste it. Okay. Can remove this. And then let's see. Yeah, see what it is giving. So Indian students in grades 4 to 12 most often skip because, and it's actually giving you doing a research, an NCRT national survey 2020. So from here, you can actually understand problem that you're solving is really large enough, right? The same survey reported that satisfaction in student drops when students move from middle to secondary level. So many things. You'll get a lot of insights, academic overload, fatigue, and so many things. Okay, wonderful. Right. And those of you watching, maybe you can empathize with this. Okay. So I think now you have understood how AI can actually help you build your whole prototype. Go ahead. I wish you all the best.